Good morning, everyone, and happy Thursday. It is Julie here with your TipRanks pre-market morning update, where we're bringing you everything you need to know before the market opens. So let's get into it. All right, guys, welcome back, and thank you all so much for being here. This morning, we'll be taking a look at exciting stock market news, notable earnings reports, and the morning's biggest gainers and losers. Just before we get into that, I do want to wish everyone a happy Veterans Day and say a big thank you to everyone who has served and sacrificed for their country. Okay, let's get right into this morning's exciting stock market news. We are back into the green with U.S. stock futures this morning. Currently, Dow futures are up 0.15%, S&P 500 futures are up 0.38%, while NASDAQ futures are up 0.65%. Elon Musk sold some Tesla shares. However, it wasn't the 10% promised on Twitter and was part of an options exercise that was planned back in September. According to regulatory filings, Musk exercised options for more than 2.2 million shares on Monday, then sold about 4.5 million shares in total over the subsequent days. His sales were made as part of a 10b5-1 plan, the one insiders use to sell stocks so they don't run afoul of securities laws. Musk's plan has been in place since September 14th. The sale was worth about $5 billion and amounts to about 3% of Musk's stake in the EV company. The Tesla stock is currently rated a hold by analysts with an average downside of 20%. RIVN made quite the public debut to public markets yesterday, and they're on track to be the most valuable American automaker behind Tesla. RIVN raised $11.9 billion in its IPO, the biggest new issue of the year. The company, which was founded in 2009 and makes all-electric pickup trucks, had initially filed to offer its shares in the range of $57 to $62, later raising the range to $72 to $74. With backers including Amazon and Ford, RIVN's market capitalization is above $92 billion. Shares of Lordstown Motors are rising after the company finalized a plan to sell its production plant in Ohio to Foxconn for $230 million. A down payment of $100 million will be made by Foxconn in November. Under the joint venture agreement, Lordstown Motors and Foxconn will co-design and develop vehicle programs for the global commercial fleet market. The companies will have the rights to commercialize these new EV programs in North America and globally. Through this partnership, Lordstown Motors will be benefited in terms of vehicle production costs and supply chain risks, along with Foxconn's expertise in hardware-software integration. The RIDE stock is rated a moderate sell with an average upside of nearly 20%. And Hershey's announced that it intends to purchase Dots Pretzels and Pretzels Incorporated for about $1.2 billion. Dots Homestyle Pretzels is one of the fastest growing pretzel brands in the U.S., and according to Hershey, the acquisition will enhance its growing salty snacking portfolio and enable the company to attract new customers. They're also purchasing Pretzels Incorporated, which has investments in several food and beverage categories. With this acquisition, Hershey aims to expand its manufacturing base by adding 3 manufacturing facilities operated by Pretzels in Indiana and Kansas. The Hershey stock is rated a moderate buy with an average upside of 6.7%. Now, moving over to notable earnings reports. In the pre-market this morning, we'll be hearing from Grow Generation and PaySafe. And in the after hours, we'll hear from Sundial Growers, Blink Charging, and Lordstown Motors. We recently heard from SOFI Technologies, who came in with a smaller than expected loss for their third quarter. SOFI incurred a loss of 5 cents per share, which was much lower than the street's estimate of 16 cents per share. They had reported a loss of 70 cents per share in the same quarter last year. Their total adjusted net revenues grew 28% year over year and came in at $277.2 million, which was ahead of analyst estimates of $255.63 million. Their stock is rated a strong buy with an average upside of 20%. We also heard from Beyond Meat, whose shares are plunging after the company failed to meet on both earnings and revenue. Beyond Meat reported quarterly net revenues of $106.4 million, which was up 12.7% year over year, but failed to surpass the street's estimates of $109.2 million. They posted a loss per share for the quarter of 87 cents, much wider than the loss of 31 cents reported in the previous year, and a lot wider than the consensus estimate of 39 cents. Their stock is rated a moderate sell with an average upside just shy of 4%. AFRM Holdings is up nearly 27% in the pre-market after the company reported their first fiscal quarter of 2022 and an expansion on their partnership with Amazon. They did incur a loss of $1.13 per share, which was higher than the loss of 6 cents per share in the same quarter last year. Their total revenues generated stood at $269.4 million against the consensus estimates of $248.23 million. Their revenues grew 55% year over year. With their expanded relationship with Amazon, AFRM will support all purchases of $50 or more on Amazon.com and the Amazon shopping app in the United States. As part of the revised agreement, the company will act like Amazon's only third-party non-credit card buy now, pay later option in the US. They're currently rated a moderate buy with an average upside of 11%. And we also heard from Opendoor, who's currently up almost 17% in the pre-market after they posted upbeat results for their third quarter. The company reported a smaller than expected loss per share of 9 cents against the consensus estimates of a loss of 17 cents per share. They had reported a loss of 91 cents per share in the same quarter last year. Their total revenue of $2.27 billion surpassed the street's estimates of $2.01 billion. They're currently rated a strong buy with an average upside of 62%. Now let's take a look at which stocks are this morning's biggest gainers and losers. Now this morning, all of our gainers and losers are in relation to their recent earnings report, and we actually talked about all of our gainers this morning, which are led by AFRM. Under the ticker AFRM, they're currently up about 25%, followed by Opendoor Technologies, currently up a bit over 17%, and SOFI Technologies under SOFI up nearly 13%. Our biggest losers this morning are led by Beyond Meat. Under the ticker BYND, they're currently down over 19%, followed by the Bright Health Group under BHG, down 18%, and Cricket Incorporated under CRCT, down nearly 17%. So that is going to be everything for Thursday's pre-market morning update, getting you up to speed with what you need to know before that opening bell. If you made it to the end of today's video, make sure you hit that thumbs up button and say good morning in the comments down below. I always love hearing from you guys. Thank you all so much for watching. I hope you have a fantastic day, and I'll see you back here next time.